And once again, we are here. And I am your trusty Mighty Rider, always by your side. We learn and get better together. Once again, this is for Whiteout Survival. This time we are going to be diving into hero gear, which lots of people ask me about. Um, I will just change this a little bit. Hello, heroes. It's like Charlie. Hello, angels. Hello, heroes. I do have my own angels. Sometimes they're called sirens. That's a whole other story for a different time. But I did not learn the right way how to do this when I first started. I literally just built up each gear as I got it, and then went around each one. So like I started with hello, our boy Bahidi, our girl Chloris, and then I went to gear, and I just was like, beep. And I was like, oh, pretty much right there, base level. And then what I do is I built up each one all the way around, trying to make everything equal. Because again, I had no idea what I was doing. I did not discover videos like this or of any other type till much later in this game. And when I say much later in the game, I was like at least probably 3 months in before I figured out like I am doing this all wrong, and I wasted so many resources because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I hope this catches you early enough where you haven't burned through things. But we're gonna unequip again because she doesn't need any gear because she doesn't get used. She just gathers for me, and she looks awesome. Like again, if you had the choice to like which heroes could get better and like make them, like I definitely would choose Chloris because that arrow shot she has that hits multiple characters is awesome, way awesome in the beginning, and it's disappointing that I can't use her anymore. She was one of my favorite heroes, but I move on to other stuff. So now we have our other heroes that we're using. So who has some gear on them? Let's find out. I know we showed Amos had some gear on him when we did our last video, when we did Mythic Heroes. So as you can see, Amos has two such items on him. And because he's infantry, we want to build up his gauntlet and his belt. So when we click on this, bing, Guardian Gauntlet. So infantry, guardians, depending on what they may term in your language, may be called something completely different if you're not reading English. But look, the big thing is here is infantry or defensive heroes. So the important parts are, look right here, you got hero defense, hero health. So that's why we're building up the gauntlets. And then we can get rid of it for now. But, get your different levels, escort defense, escort health, infantry health. So it's all boosting up as you get upper levels, and then eventually you get to versus level 1. That's where we're forging stuff. I'm actually not going to forge anything, but I'll show you real quick. After forging, I have some essence stones saved up. But to go into level 2, it's going to cost 20, 3, 30, 4, 40, so on and so forth. Once you get to level 10, then you'll be able to, once you go to level 10 essence stone and you get up to level 100 on your actual mythic gear, then you'll be able to ascend to legendary gear. It turns pretty red, which you'll see in a hero or two. But as you see, the other one we start out with for our infantry or guardian is the shield with our belt. So, guardian belt, mythic gear. Same thing, defense, health, health. This one's already at level 2, but like I said, 30. See, just in case you were unsure whether to trust me. Again, you don't know me, so why would you trust me? Well, I could be telling you steering in a different direction, and if I was, I'd still be building Chloris and saying, "Look, build her up." Oh my god, what if I had done that? Imagine like today, I was like, Chloris is like the strongest Chloris you've ever seen. I used to say as a joke that like I had before I started taking gear off him because I kept building not only on Chloris, but I built gear on every hero I got as I went along for the first 3 months of this game. So I say I had the strongest rare and epic heroes in the entire game. Like my rare heroes could house anybody else's rare heroes probably, in like the world. Except for like people who would probably play at the beginning who by that time might be like on maxed out gear on every hero they've ever had, which would be insane. And I can't imagine how much goes into that. But again, I went to the wrong word track as I just go off on a tangent. As you see, I haven't added any other gear to this, but we'll pop in there, bing, just to look. There's just some extra gear I've lying around, so whenever I equip, just puts whatever's in there. So the boot, The boot I see is hero attack and hero health. So attack is very important, but not as important. You also see lethality, which is huge for attacking, but not as important as I'm saying as the guardsman or the infantryman, whatever you want to call them. And then, of course, goggles, same thing. You have your attack, lethality, along with health. Health, of course, is very important to it, but it's secondary to the defensive health, which is, look, warden goggles, guardsman boots, guardian gauntlets, and, of course, then you have the guardian belt. So they get different names, they're cool, whatever. But we're going to equip these because we leave them off because we're not using them. But as you can see, I build these up first. These are your first and foremost. You don't build all the way around. It's not necessary. Continue. I could actually, while you're here, let's check out. Let's enhance. You'll see I have plenty of extra resources. These are 10. These are 100. 10. Green here is going to give you 30s for your. And then we got 60s, which I have a lot of, as you can see, and then 150. So if I was trying to go to the next level, because I want to make it quick, I can check quick select, and bing, I used all those, 51 of those. It doesn't, the reason I don't mind wasting it, well, not wasting it, but utilizing it right now is because bumping up these levels doesn't affect whatever I'm doing. So, like, normally I say you want to save for SVS, and absolutely, especially if you're in a saving state like I am. I highly recommend saving for SVS because state's important, and you want the state to work together. You don't want to be thought of as a selfish son of a gun. I'm not cursing on the video. I try not to. I may let one slip here and there, but try not to. And some people don't know you and want to say, terrible things about you. Oh, he doesn't care about the state, blah, 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 blah. When that can be further from the truth. Because the state is important, and we want to kick the butt of every other state because it's fun. When you're working together, either in your alliance or in your state, to really come together and destroy or take out the best of the best as your opponents, it's kind of fun. And that's the best part of it, because resource gathering or the daily tasks get boring, especially when you've been doing this for a while, like I am. I've been playing this game for over a year now. And that's the daily task does get boring. It's the same thing. It's like, get rid of those red dots. That's what it is. Those red dots, like some people say they see them in their sleep, and I'm sometimes one of those people. Red dots, red dots, red dots, not the red dots. They're coming to get me. You want to turn to like Pac-Man and just kill the red dots, even though they were white dots thing. I know, but it's the metaphor I'm going for. But like I said, we're going to use this. We're going to quick enhance and say, hello, look, my power went up by 2,520, which is not much at my level, but that stuff adds up quick as you go to level. But now it's level 52, and then I'll keep going. Eventually, I'll build up more, but I'm not really building Amos right now because he's technically my third set of March, because as we go back, we've got Hector right now hanging on the second set, and where's he? Hello. Look, he's practically ready to ascend. I've got him all up 100s, and that's on all 4. And I'm level 8, level 8, level 5, level 4. So my next move is with Hector. And again, I would like to show you, but I'm not going to because I'm saving for SVS. But Essence Stones will be used to get you points, and you want to make sure you're using on the right day of SVS. So make sure you are reading what day helps you the most points. So I will eventually have enough to boost this to 10, boost this to 10, and then ascend, and then make them legendary. But as I said, when you're first building up through the mythic gear, you're going to build 4 infantry, your belt, your gauntlets, then your goggles, and your boots, and then keep building them up until you get to 100. Then you're going to ascend same way. Ascend. It's when we get up to the legendary gear that things change, and I'll get into that in a minute. I'm just going to show you my next people as we got Reyna. Hold on to some gear right now. Oh, look, she's already ascended. See, that's why it's red. Level 10. But notice what I did. I got level 10, level 10. I didn't even change these, so my next ascension will be here. See, it says ascend, and I'm not going to do that because, well, I'll show you what it looks like. Ooh, Isn't that cool? I gotta use so when you get to Ascension and you get to Legendary gear, you need to have lots of extra Mythic gear. That's the only other time you're gonna burn through it. So that's why you don't want to do too many at once. You want to pay attention to your first set of gear. I definitely recommend doing one full set first. And when I say full set, I mean an infantry, a marksman, a lancer before you're working on everybody else. Keep everybody else without gear. Again, that's just my recommendation. Lots of people that I play with, that's their recommendation as well. I definitely recommend talking to some of your senior or veteran members in your alliance to what they do, because you have a different strategy. When I in my first state, the big strategy was troops. I don't recommend that strategy because just because you're that's false power. It really is. Troop power is false power. It makes you can power up really fast with troops, but then when you go to fight someone, you're like, oh, I'm 400 million power. He's 400 million power. This should be a good battle. Or I'm 400 million power, he's 300 million power. I'm going to kick his butt. And you're totally wrong, because half your power is troop power and all his power is hero gear, and he kicks your ass, which is not pleasant. And again, that's where I discovered that when I was taught troop power is important, I was wrong. And it was not cool. So I still have a lot of troops. I have a lot more troops than most people because I was already there, and I'm not going to go kill them off because I wasted all my time building troops. Well, not wasted. They eventually become very important to spread through your marches, whether it be for garrison or for bear hunt or some sort of attack. You have multiple marches. That's when your troops become very important because you're able to spread them out to proper ratios. And we're going to go back. And we're going to just slide over. Oh, Nora's got nothing. Almost still there, so we're going the wrong way, obviously. Nora, Reyna, Hector. Oh, Gwen. That's right. So Gwen, same thing. And Lancers and Marksmen are pretty much treated the same, but Marksmen are more important, in my opinion, and in several other people's opinion, because they're your big attackers, your Marksmen. And again, see, we got hero attack, hero health, Marksman lethality. So that's the important thing. So when I was building them up, I built up this goggles, built up the boots, then I built up here. But notice also I ascended the same way too. I got them both level 10. And remember, when you do the ascension of the Mastery Forges, look what it is. It's percentage up. So like your gear strength up is 10%, your gear stats are up 10%. So because marksmen are important for attacking, the ones you want to build up for those 10% bumps, 20, 30, 40 as they keep going through the different levels, is your attack. So that's your goggles and your boots. Then go up to the 100, and eventually I'm going to get these what was it, forged with the Essence Stones, and they'll be up to 10 as well, and then they'll get ascended. You'll notice I went to 19 on these because you can go up to Ascension and then 19 without having to use any of our favorite resources, which is Mithril, nice beautiful purple stone. I'll show you what it looks like in case you forgot my backpack. Yeah, I know there's lots of red dots because we just had a reset not too long ago, and I did go through all the red dots yet. We scroll through, lots of shards here. Hello, Mithril. I only have 4 right now because I burned through so many last time when I finally got my full set during last SVS. I was down to my last few. They were at 99 legendary, and there was 5 of them, and I went through 250 Mithril. That's why I only have 4 left. So, and that's why I didn't upgrade anything else. So now we're going to go back to our heroes, and I'll show you Gwen again. And see, here is where it gets different. So as you notice, I went through 19. So 19 is important because all it keeps doing is hero attack. So that's boosting your attack. But if you notice, on the goggles, your empowerment changes. So this is where the Mithril comes in handy. And your empowerment here is 20% on the attack, which is great. So one of the first things you want to do for marksman is the goggles. So when you go to use the Mithril, and it gets expedition, exploration. Expedition is when you got your garrison, you're doing a rally. Exploration, that's more for arena, one-on-one stuff. So to most people, exploration is not as important. It's the expedition, but little slip. Level 20 is 20% attack. Then you got exploration of hero health. Then there's defense of 30%. Then there's exploration again, hero attack up. So this is where your levels, like if you really care about arena or your one-on-ones, this is where you get a big boost. And the big thing else, finally, is the level 100. 50% attack. That's ridiculous. So as you're enhancing them, because you still have to get to each one of these levels. So like you'll use the Mithril here, And then all of a sudden, then you have to enhance it all up to 39 before you have to use more mithril. And and you're not just using mithril, you're going to be using mythic gear too. So you always want to gather as much mythic gear and mithril whenever it's available. So you want to. That's where you want to try and do your best in arena, because you could earn arena points to then trade into buy mithril, which is 10,000 each. So you get up to 3 a week. So if you become pretty good at arena, you know, it's important. You know, at the beginning, I didn't really pay attention to arena. I was just like, oh yeah, I'll do a couple arenas, and wherever I finish, I finish. I didn't know that I needed all those points eventually. And of course, you'll get the labyrinth. Labyrinth, you can buy one mithril each week, and eventually there's some big events. Again, if you're free to play, or you're a low spender or a big spender, it's there's certain events you want to get into where the mithril's available. That is Journey of Light. Journey of Light is one of the best events out there by far. Um, if you're a non-spender pretty much, but you like to have like a spree every once in a while, save up for Journey of Light, and buy everything. Go nuts, because it will get you a ton of hero gear, not only and a ton of mithril. It's I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it's like over 50 mithril. I want to say like 85. Honestly, for some reason that number sticks to my head, but that's a lot and that's all in one event. Which the event goes for was it 6 days, 7 days? That's crazy. That's gonna be your best bet to get that much that quickly. Another event where you get a lot of mithril is it Cassia? That's with a K, which has little paw print things. I probably have some that I can show you what those are, and you can trade those in for mithril. Let's go to my backpack real quick. Here they are. These little paw things. Here you go. Dream Mark from Kassia's shop. So that's another big event when you get that. A lot of mithril available there, so that's another one I highly recommend getting into. If you're a low spender, or a medium spender, you want to be very selective in what events you participate in, and those are two that are must do's. You have to do those because you can't find mithril. Mithril is so hard to get, and you can go buy it, and I'll show you in your regular pack, but it is not really a good buy here. It's expensive. Where are you? It's here somewhere. Here we go. And just add up. It's like, it's 1,100. Again, you can always go by these percentages, but that thing drops like a stone. If I spent, $5 on one, that's $5 for one. And eventually, I think the next one's like 2, then like 5, 10, and then eventually it's 20. So it's like 20 for $100. So if you think about it, if you go crazy in like Journey of Light, where the total you would spend is, again, this is maybe seems like a high number, but I think the total you spend if you bought every pack during Journey of Light is like $385. But you pick up like, not only do you pick up like 85 mithril, which right there is $400 worth. It's like, oh, you said 385, 400. That's close, right? No, but you also get so many other things in that, in those packs, and that you're also earning the other like little resources too. You're picking up, a whole bunch of, 5-minute speed ups. You're picking up a whole bunch of resources. You're picking up tons, tons of hero gear packs, which I have some. Again, I'll show you in case you don't know what you're talking about. It's like real remedial. Here they are. So I have 106 of them right now. Lucky hero gear chests. And there's so many of those in some of the events because they're big. And again, I saved them up, and this is maybe superstition, maybe wives' tale, but I saved them all until I'm ready to burn through them for SVS. For one thing, let's use them, but I was told it could be total BS. That I was like, but the more you have, the better percentage you'll get return on them. Like if I only have a few, when I say better percentage return, the better percentage I get of mythic gear, because that's still one of the hardest things to find. Mythic gear, you want to get it. So like eventually you get up to a few thousand, or if you're really loaded up 10,000 of these, you could pick up a ton of mythic gear that way, and that's where you're gonna eventually save it. And you're gonna keep. And then another reason why you're not spending it on any of your heroes until you get there is because you're gonna be burning all that to get to. Here we go. 100 across the board. And again, I started out, and this is where, again, it depends on who you are, how you want to play the game. Um, most, when I got to the higher levels, let's say, and with the alliance I was in, infantry was very important. So, hello, Wu. I didn't have Wu at the time, but my infantry was very important. So, again, these are your 4 levels, but Eric taught you the gauntlets and the belts are most important. But when it comes to the uber defense, we'll call it, the gauntlets, again, this is where we're getting to the empowerment stats, 20, and then there's your big 50. So you want to get this to 100. And the other one you want to do is, you would think it's the belt, but it's not. It's actually the boots. So this is where I said it changes. Once you get, so that's why I said you don't want to just go crazy and only do, so like normally I was telling you Guardian belt. Gauntlets, belts. But then you're doing these. And I said, you want to get them all, where are you, Hector? To the 100. Because once you ascend to legendary, it changes the formula. As I just showed you over here on Ming, you're no longer doing belt and gauntlets. It's now gauntlet and boots. And you're like, what the heck? Because see, it still says attack there. So when you're enhancing, this is still going to enhance your attack, but that's where like it's also enhancing health. Health is important for your garrison, but your defense is right here. Hero health, and that's more for arena. Hero defense also for arena because they're exploration, and then you're 30% attack. So you're going to want to level up this to 20, and then the first one. But the way you want to do it is still pay attention to your gear stats. So this is attack and health. So the first one you want to do, really, once you get all of them to legendary gear, is we want to do the gauntlets because that's getting you defense and health, and then 20% defense. So the first thing you want to do is once you get them all to legends. Now you're at legendary. You're at, we'll call it level 1. I'm sorry, they'll be level 10 because they're not boosted up yet. But you're at this, instead of being plus 100, you're at plus 1. You want to do your gauntlets first. And the reason why is because you're doing defense and health. And that's very important for your guardians. And then you're getting defense here. So really, you're going to bring this one all the way up to level 39. Because 40 is where the next empower is with Mithril. And we don't want to waste it. Well, it's not waste it. We don't want to use it yet here because this is not expedition. This is exploration. So getting to level 20, which is going to cost you your first batch of Mithril and some mythic gear, will then give you a 20% boost in defense and also big boosts here, which this is going to keep doing for everything. Because also, eventually it's also going to force you to level these up too. Level 20 is the max, so I've maxed out this one. But you're going to get to 10, 11, 12. I forgot which level each one's. But as you get to each level for the Mithril, you also have to level up these too, which also costs Mythic Gear. So Mythic Gear, you're burning through it like it's Tinder. No, not the app. Like the Tinder you burn through, like you're making a fire. Embers are coming through it. But that's what you want to do first. So once you get that up to 39, then you're going to stop with the gauntlets, and we're going to go to the boots. Because this is boosting attack and health. So health is important. Attack, not as much. But we still want to get to that defense. So you're pushing the gauntlets to 39, and then you're going to push this to 20. And that 20 is going to get you that 20% defense. And then this is where you kind of like, you're bouncing around to which ones you want to do. Yeah, we want to know this one. So again, this one is eventually going to go to 100. But 20 is your first goal because 60 is attack, which you don't care as much about. So then it's kind of like an order to it. And again, it depends on how you play within yourself and then also within your alliance, because there's different strategies, or you just don't care and you just want to go for it. We'll get to like, hey, I just want to kill things strategy in just a second. But the next one after here now is we're going back to our belt, because again, we're up here and we're just enhancing up to your defense and your health. The attack. So you're going to bring this right up to 19. At 19, that's attack then. So then we don't really care as much. But notice, look, defense is 30% here. So you're up to 19 here. You know, you could really leave this one alone because this one, This one doesn't become important until you get to 60. So really, with goggles, 60 is the level you really will eventually want to get to. It's to get 30%, and then eventually you can move to 100, but it's not. It's like one of the last things you'll do. It was one of the last things I did because with, like I said, with the infantry, the guardian goggles, defense is most important. So once you get this to 60, because it's mostly doing attack, health important too. Yes, I understand. You're gonna stop there. You want to get that to 60. This one, you're gonna get this to 60, but because it gets you defense and health, this one you're actually eventually moving up to 79. So I know it's weird numbers, and I learned this through another YouTuber, but it's very helpful because, again, when you're enhancing, you're boosting your gear stats too. So you're going to move. So this one eventually will go to 79. This one's going to be a 60. This one's going to be, this is your first priority at 100 is your gauntlets because it's all defense. So this will be the big one you move first. This is the first one you work on to get to 100. This one you're going to work on to 20 and eventually get to 100. So this is like the second to last one. You're getting to 100. But also with these two, these are going to be the first two that you're also putting these levels up for your essence stones. Because again, what's it multiplying? It's multiplying your stats. I mean, mine's max rate, so it's level 20, 200% gear stats. That's crazy. So you're getting your defense and your health up there, and then you get 200% boost. And then you also have your empowerment. So like this one's 200% gear stats boost, 20% defense here, 30% attack, which is not important, but not as important, and then 50% defense. That's ridiculous. That's how you become like an unstoppable garrison person. Garrison holder, garrison starter, lead garrison. We'll go with that. Yeah, lead garrison hero. It's amazing, and that's kind of how you want to work around for that one. And then again, that's why when you get to legendary gear, you want to do them all the same, and then you're kind of bouncing around depending on, and you want to take your time to figure out which level. And remember, it's expedition or exploration, and how you're playing the game. For infantry, the gauntlets are the most important. That's your number one. And the belt, which was important on the mythic gear level, is not as important on the legendary level, but eventually you'll work that up. Now, where are you? Nope, wrong way. Hey, Wayne. Now, for my people who love to just attack, I play with a certain person who likes to just burn things, lives for attack, all about those marksmen. And there's nothing wrong with that because guess what? I love that shit too. So was I the first one to go all infantry? No, I wasn't. Did my alliance go all infantry? Yes, they did. Did they like that I didn't go at first? No, they didn't. I was all about marksman first because I wanted the highest bear scores possible. Was I the first person to get high bear scores? I was. Do I still get pretty good high bear scores? I do. And it's kind of cool because guess what? As much as I want to kick butt in SVS and Sunrise Castle or Foundry or something like that, I really want to have awesome bear scores because you see them, and those are more of a competition among your peers, and you do it every 2 days. So that's why you want to see how many levels you get. But the same rules are kind of apply. So like we learned before, as I taught you, that goggles and boots were the most important things. Then once you get them all legendary, the rules change again, and they're the same with whatever hero you got. Goggles and boots are always going to be attack and health, whereas your belt and your gauntlets are always going to be defense and health. So when we're going with the goggles here, this is going to be your first one. So whereas with defense, gauntlets are most important. With offense and attacking, the goggles are most important. So you have your attack, you got your health. I got my level 20, and same thing. Plus 20 empowerment gets you that attack boost, 20%. Defense in the middle, defense on marksman is like putting a shiny coat on somebody who's about to run through the mud. Whoops. But then you got 50% attack right here, so that's huge. And then it's the opposite again. Like I said, your belt becomes important for attack too because there's your 20% attack, and then there's your 50% attack. So again, as we're building, when you first start building your marksman, you're going to build the goggles first. So, you're, like I said before, you're going to boost this up to 39 to start. That way you're only using one set of mithril, and you got maximum gear stats. Well, not maximum, but again, it depends on what level you're at. If you're free to play, you're low spender, it's tough to build up all that mithril. So when you're using minimal mithril, you want to allocate it properly. And I recommend doing it here, because if you just want your attack to be good, you're not going to get to the rest of the hero gear. You're going to get into your plus 20, which goes up to 39, because it's really going to boost your attack here as well. And then you're right over here. Let's get to this to just 20. You don't have to go beyond that, especially if you are a free to play or low spender. 20 here, 39 here, then build your Essence Stones. You can almost forget about these for right now, because you're not going to get into them. Because this one's, again, your last one. This one only needs to go up to level 60 eventually, especially if you're a spender. If you're a spender, then, this all goes up. Now it's just about like where you want to allocate your money at what time. But you still want to follow the order that I'm kind of giving you, or at least use it as a guide. Again, I'm not an expert, 100% not an expert. This is just how I've learned using different videos I've seen, some things I've read online, some other players I've talked to, and I've used all the information I gathered to make my own opinion. And that's what I trust you guys to do. I will always give you all the information I know. What you do with it is up to you. That's kind of what I tell most people, even in my day-to-day life. I was like, I'll give you everything you want. I really don't care. It's your life. I'm not the one who's going to tell you how to live it. It's your game. I'm not going to be the one who tells you how to play it. You got to have fun. It's a game. You will eventually, as you get to the higher levels, become a little bit more serious, and get involved with a lot more serious players. But that can be stressful. This game can end up taking a lot out of your life, so to speak. But remember, it's just a game. Take a breath. Hopefully you made some great friends in the game, and play with them. As much as it's fun to, like I said, go into castle, kick ass, it's more fun to play with your friends. I've met a bunch of people through this game, like a lot of people, and I always want to be friends with them first and foremost, rather than, form the best team, I guess you could say. And I know that's not the best way to say, best thing to say in a strategy game like this, but I want to have fun and I want to win. So the slogan we came up was, we learn and get better together. And that is my alliance's slogan, also with always by your side. And we came up with that in our old state. And it's something that, we live by, especially our, people who go back, months and months that have been together, whether they're play on occasion, whether they play every day, whether they chat every day, or they chat just here and there. But we all abide by these slogans, and if people don't want to play with us with that, that's fine. I'm not going to force anyone to go anywhere. You don't have to join my alliance. I don't care. It's simple as that. I'm going to do what's going to make the game fun for me and hopefully fun for my friends, slash co-players. But I'm not going to say like, oh, you can't do that. Okay, you can do that, but just please don't do that here. There's plenty of alliances in every state. If you want to go, I'm sure there's an alliance that will fit your play style. And you know what? Try different alliances. One thing that I learned from my old state is you can visit if you're friendly enough and the state's cool enough, which a lot of states are. I know there's some states that are shitty. Luckily haven't been to like really shitty ones. And my last one turned into a little bit of a dictatorship, which was bad. And there was a super megalodon who forced a bunch of us to leave the state. That's why I left that one. But I found a much better state now, where there's a lot. Again, there's drama in every state, but there's a lot less drama in this state. And some people want to play really hard, and some people want to have fun. But there's a good mix, and we do pretty well as a state. I know some people don't think that we all have the same goals in mind, but I can't read everybody's mind. I have one goal. I want to learn and get better together and have fun with my friends, while hopefully getting better with the state too, because it is fun, And just because we're not in the top alliance, you don't have to be the top alliance. You have to be in the alliance that works for you. Hopefully, it's a top, again, depending on your state, top 5, 6, 7 alliance. Whether you're a NAP 2 state, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've seen a NAP 8. I think that's way too many, but you work it out, because, and then you work out how you're going to play in the bigger events. And I've totally gone off on a tangent, but this has just been something that's been on my mind lately. It's okay to then get together with the better players in the state and form a super alliance for the bigger events, whether that be your Tundra Arms, whether that be Frost Dragon, which we have coming up for the first time ever. I've never played Frost Dragon, so I am anticipating getting my ass whooped for sure. I don't know what I'm doing. I've watched a couple videos on it, but I still don't know what I'm doing, and I'm probably gonna end up being like noob. They may change my name to noob, because I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm just there. I don't know what I'm doing. It's gonna be fun, but that's how I learned. I mean, the first time I played Canyon Clash, I didn't know what I was doing there. I kind of just crazy, like, oh, I'll fight you, I'll fight that. But eventually, strategies form. You find some people who figure things out, and you work it out. And it's good to have strategies ahead of time. But it's important to talk it out. And I'm not always the best at that. I'll be the first to admit. But I'm always the first to respond 100%. So, like, I'm not a good initiator, and this is just me. I just never have been, and goes IRL too. I've never been a good initiator. I'm a little bit of a shy person, even though I'm on a video for YouTube. I know it's ridiculous. It totally goes against everything I do, and that's why I've never done this before, which is a partial lie, because I've made videos we'll call it an alternate life. That sounds more wrong. In my personal life, I mean, no, that sounds wrong too. It was YouTube videos. Wait, that too. Wait, wasn't anything else. Get your minds out of the gutter. It was YouTube videos, and it was actually work related, and I was trying to sell stuff. We'll put it that way. And it was like legit stuff. But going back off my tangent, let's get back to Hero Gear. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just to say, Mighty, shut the F up, because what are you talking about? I want to learn about Hero Gear. That was like 3 minutes that you'll never get back in your life. Feel free to skip over that later. But like I said, your sniper gauntlets are important. And then we got your sniper belt, because those are where your big ones eventually get to 100. Like I said, depending on what level you're willing to spend at and how much you're gathering of your mithril, your goggles are most important, followed by your belt. And then we come back over here, and what's going to be next? Just guess. It's your boots. Because again, hero attack. So as you're enhancing, enhance, that's boosting your attack and your health. Defensive middle doesn't help. So eventually, but 60 is where you got to get to. I know it's a lot. Mithril, Mythic Gear, buy. Mithril, Hero Gear, buy. Mithril, Mythic Gear. And then finally here again. But where's this one going to do? This one's going up to 79, because you don't need to do the hero defenses. So 79 is almost like a little bit of a goal. If you want to like write these down, I actually made little like digital Post-its and put them, they're on my laptop, and they're still open. I'm not going to show them to you because I didn't prepare them ahead of time. And there's other chicken scratch in there, so to speak. But I set up so like I knew that like going ahead that I had to get the boots eventually up to 79. And then I knew that I had to get the gauntlets up to 60. And that's right. So 60 was the goal here. 79 was the goal here. This one, I knew I wanted to eventually get to, right away go to 39, eventually to 100. And I literally wrote down 39, eventually to 100. And then here was 20, eventually to 100. Like I said. And then here is just like eventually to 60, because it's the lowest one, and it didn't help me as much. And then here was 19 eventually to 79. And that's kind of like how I wrote it out for myself to help myself. And also, I had it written down so it helped me know what I want to do. And again, here is also where you want to boost your master forging with your essence stones, because that's where you want to get the most for level 20s first, then level 20 here, level 20 here, and that's how you do it. And again, we didn't do Lancer, but Renee's got the gear on right now because Lancers will become more important. Lancers, again, follow the suit of Marksman, where you're working on your attack first. Same thing, you know, you got your Saboteur, which I think is a great name compared to Lancer, but, you know, Saboteur. Sounds awesome. Same thing. You're going to work on your attack, your defense, but eventually the Lancers, because they're kind of a hybrid position, or Saboteurs, where they're going to become important for defense. Because remember, you're going to, when you garrison, like I said, you're either probably do like a 70-30 or a 60-40. Well, what position is that 30 and 40? It's your Saboteurs or Lancers. So defense does become important for these two, for these. So that's why you're building up last. It's also, as you notice on mine, I have not built up my Essence Stones completely yet. And I'm kind of equal building, as you can see. You know, I did 20 here because attack was the most important, and I already got to 100. But I'm kind of like moving around with these. Like I said, I built up this one, then I built up that one. I'm kind of keeping this one not too far behind, but it's because defense also becomes important with Lancers as they get to the higher tiers. When you're in the lower tiers, defense on Lancers is almost non-existent. Your infantry is going to carry you, or Guardian, whoever that might be. That's pretty much my little tutorial on Hero Gear. Quick little recap. Again, we got your Mythic Gear, which on Lancers, you're going to work just the same as Marksman. You're going to talk about goggles, boots, get them to 100, get the Essence Stones level 10, then ascend them. Work on these as well to 100, get them these, then get their Essence Stones. And when I say these, obviously it's the gauntlet and the belt. Get them to level 10, ascend them. And then you do the exact same thing over here. Ascend. This will be my next ascensions, but notice I already put these to 19 because I didn't use it. I didn't have any mithril to use, as you saw before, but it boosts my hero attack and hero health, which is important on Marksman. Where opposite here, again, your infantry, I'm building these first, but again, I'm not too far behind here, but defense is more important. So these are level 8, these are level 5, all 100, and notice they're not, the reason why they're not ascended is because they have to be level 10 to ascend. So once these will hit 10 first, these will ascend first. That's just the order you want to go in. And again, whether you are in a defense first and you're rebuilding your infantry first, like Wu Ming here, or you just want to burn and kill people. That's in the game. You got your Marksman, you're going to get, as I said, you're going to get over to your goggles, boots eventually. And like I said, once you get to legendary gear, then it changes the order that you're building. And this is where you want to pay attention to what you want to get. Like I said, it's now goggles and belt that you're going to want to get to eventually to 100. Whereas right here, your sniper gauntlets, they're not going to get you. Eventually, you'll get to 60. And this one, you'll want to go to 19. I'm sorry, yeah. 19, and then eventually to 79. And that's all I can say. So that's a quick recap. There will be more videos coming forth. This was actually the quickest one since the last one. And I did promise. I'll be right there. To have a guest star this time. Because he's not sleeping this time. Last time he was sleeping. This is the inspiration. Right? Who's a good boy? Kiss? Very good boy. So this is the one, the only, Mighty Rider, saying thank you so much for watching my videos. So please like and subscribe, as everyone says. I'm not getting this for likes. This is more just to help people out. Like I said, this is mostly for my own alliance. But if they want to pass it on to their friends, just for a good laugh, but feel free. Once again, this is the Mighty Rider and his pirate puppy. Emperor Puppeteen, many nicknames that are distributed by my friends in the game, saying thank you again, and we will see you next time.